Effort and work can become fun when you establish specific desirable goals. With every adversity, there is a seed of an equivalent or greater benefit for those who are motivated with PMA to become achievers. Man's greatest power lies in the power of prayer. To learn and apply these principles, turn up your invisible talisman to the PMA side. When Henley wrote the poetic lines, "I am the master of my fate. I'm the captain of my soul," he could have informed us that we are the masters of our fate because we are masters, first, of our attitudes. Our attitudes shape our future. This is a universal law. The poet could have told us with great emphasis that this law works whether the attitudes are destructive or constructive. The law states that we translate into physical reality the thoughts and attitudes which we hold in our minds no matter what they are. We translate into reality thoughts of poverty just as quickly as we do thoughts of riches. But when our attitude towards ourselves is piqued, and our attitude towards others is generous and merciful, we attract big and generous portions of success. A truly great man. Consider the example of Henry J. Kaiser. A truly successful person because his attitude towards himself is big. Companies identified with the name Henry J. Kaiser hold assets of more than $1 billion because he is generous and merciful to others. The speechless have been made to talk, the crippled have been restored to useful lives, and hundreds of thousands of persons have received hospital care at a very low cost. All this grew from seeds of thought planted within him by his mother. Mary Kaiser gave her son Henry the priceless gift. She also taught him to apply the greatest value in life. 1. The priceless gift. After her day's work, Mary Kaiser would spend hours as a volunteer nurse, helping the unfortunate. Often she said to her son, "Henry, nothing is ever accomplished without work. If I leave you nothing else but the will to work, I will have left you the priceless gift, the joy of work." 2. The greatest value in life. "It was my mother," said Mr. Kaiser, "who first taught me some of the greatest values in life. Among these were the love of people and the importance of serving others. Loving people and serving them," she used to say, "is the greatest value in life." Henry J. Kaiser knows the power of PMA. He knows what it can do in his life and for his country. He also knows the force of NMA. During World War II, he built over 1,500 ships. With such rapidity that he startled the world when he said, "We can construct a Liberty ship every 10 days. The experts said, "It can't be done. It's impossible." Yet, Kaiser did it. Those who believe they can't repel the positive, they use the negative side of their talisman. Those who believe they can repel the negative, they use the positive side. That is why we must be cautious when we use this talisman. Its PMS side can get for you all the rich blessings of life. It can help you to overcome your difficulties and to discover your strengths. It can help you step out ahead of your competitors. And, as with Kaiser, it can turn what others say is impossible into reality. But the NMA side is just as powerful. Instead of happiness and success, it can attract despair and defeat. Like all power, the talisman is dangerous if we do not use it properly. How the force of anime repels. There is a very interesting story, which illustrates how the force of anime repels. It comes out of one of the southern states. There, where wood-burning fireplaces are still used to heat homes, lived a woodcutter who also was an unsuccessful person. For more than 2 years, he had supplied a certain homeowner with firewood. He had supplied a certain homeowner with firewood. The woodcutter knew that the logs could not be larger than 7 inches in diameter if they were to fit this particular fireplace. On one occasion, this old customer ordered a cord of wood, but was away when it was delivered. On arriving home, he discovered that most of the wood was larger than the specified size. He called the woodcutter and asked him to have the oversized logs exchanged or split. "I can't do that," said the wood dealer. "It would cost more than the whole load is worth." With that, he hung up. So the homeowner was left with the job of splitting the logs himself. He rolled up his sleeves and set to work. About halfway through the job, he noticed that one particular log had a very large knot hole which someone had plugged up. The homeowner lifted the log. It seemed unusually light and appeared to be hollow. With a hefty swing of the axe, he split the log. A blackened roll of tin foil fell out. The homeowner stooped down, picked up the roll and unwrapped it. To his amazement, it contained very old 50 and 100 bills. Slowly, he counted them. They amounted to exactly 250. The bills had evidently been in the tree for many years, as the paper was very brittle. The homeowner had PMA. His only thought was to get the money back to its rightful owner. He picked up the telephone, called the wood dealer again, and asked him where he had cut this load. Again, the woodcutter's NMA asserted its repelling power. "That's nobody's business but mine," he said. "If you give away your secrets, people will cheat you every time." Despite many efforts, the homeowner never learned where the logs came from or who had sealed the money inside. Now, the point of this story does not lie in irony. It is true that the man with PMA found the money while the man with NMA had not. But it is also true that good breaks do occur in everyone's life. However, the man who lives with NMA will prevent life's lucky breaks from benefiting them. And the man with BMA will so arrange his attitudes that he will turn even the bad breaks into advantages. On the sales staff of the Combined Insurance Company of America, there was a salesman named Al Allen. Al wanted to be the company's star salesman. He tried to apply the PMA principles found in the inspirational books and magazines he read. He read an editorial in Success Unlimited magazine entitled, "Develop Inspirational Dissatisfaction." It wasn't long after that, he had an opportunity to put into practice what he had read. He had a bad break. This gave him the opportunity to arrange his attitude so that he could use the PMA side of his talisman effectively. He developed inspirational dissatisfaction. One icy winter day, Al cold canvassed every store in a city block in Wisconsin. He walked in unannounced and tried to sell insurance. On that day, Al did not make a single sale. Of course, he was dissatisfied. But Al's PMA turned his dissatisfaction into inspirational dissatisfaction. Why? He remembered the editorial he had read. He applied the principle. The next day, before setting out from the local office, he told his fellow salesman about his failures the day before. He said, "Wait and see. Today I'm going to call on those same prospects and I'll sell more insurance than all the rest of you combined." And the remarkable thing is that Al did it. He went back to the same city block and again called on every person he had talked to the day before. He sold 66 new accident contracts. Now, this was an unusual achievement. And it happened because of the bad breaks when Al trudged through the sleet and went for 8 hours without selling a policy. Al Allen was able to rearrange his attitudes. He was able to convert the negative kind of dissatisfaction that most of us would feel in similar circumstances of failure on one day into inspirational dissatisfaction which resulted in success the next day.